Hey guys, I am here with Disney animator Peter Raymundo. How you doing today?
Great. So it's Sunday, so it's been a lot of con.
Yeah, how has the whole event been for you so far?
It was fantastic. For one, there's a lot of Disney people here, Disney, voices and other artists and stuff. So I like that a lot. I mean, I live kind of close to here, so that's always really nice. But again, this is a big one. This is a big. I go to a lot of cons that are little bit smaller than this sometimes. So, and like any con, but especially this one though too, is everyone's just everyone's in a good mood, and everyone comes here happy and and just excited to meet some they're fans of some of the content creators.
So, tell me a bit about your career as an animator and then starting to become an animator for Disney and how you got into Lilo and Stitch.
Sure. Okay. So I Lilo was actually that was like in my fourth or fifth movie at that point, but it was in the '90s. This goes way back, but there wasn't like computer animation didn't even exist really when I was in high school or in college. I actually saw in high school the on TV the Wide World of Disney, the making of the Little Mermaid, and totally changed my whole life. Right. So drawing, I was always really good at drawing. I love drawing, and I love movies. I love writing. But I happen to be, I'm from Ohio, and so there's a school, a college that was um, that one of the few schools that Disney had recruited from in the late 80s. And so I went there, I got a scholarship to there, and then my third or fourth year, I was recruited by Disney, and I started on Mulan. Yeah.
Mulan. I love Mulan. I didn't know that. That's really, really cool. What was tell me a bit about the process of creating Mulan.
Well, like Mulan was already started, like when I got there. It used to be called The Legend of Fa Mulan, actually, and then when it gets to me, so I was in animation, in character animation. A lot's already figured out by the time you get down to animation, but in fact, like two-thirds of a movie is done in the last one-third of time, and so because it's just everybody has to be, everything's all figured out basically. So Mulan actually was the hardest. It's called crunch time when you're finishing an animated movie. Back in the day, that's what they called it, like that last third. And so Mulan was tough. I mean, we did many days, well over a month, 7 days straight, like to finish it up. And it's just, I'm so proud of Mulan. I thought it was great. Hopefully, people love it. And
One of my favorites. Too.
thank you. Yeah, I thought the music was really, really good.
Oh, the music's phenomenal. Yeah, it's something I still sing to this
Yeah.
day. Absolutely. And then Lilo and Stitch is another one. I'm always singing
Yeah.
Hawaiian roller coaster ride.
So Lilo is a little bit different than a lot of the other movies because, um, well, usually it's more of a group-ish type effort. So, but Chris Sanders, who he's the main, it's basically his idea. His initial storyline was his, and then it was written and directed by Chris and Dean Dubois. I think that's not that common either to have the writers, not like the writers, directors, and primary storyboard artists were the same people, and that's not that common. Usually there's like those are all separate like people, and so, I mean, it's a testament to how incredibly talented Chris and Dean are. I mean, you can't. I'm just lucky that even being on the same movie as those two. I mean, they also did. Oh yeah, I can say it. So they also did How to Train Your Dragon movies as well.
Great. I love it. Well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to speak with you. I have one more question. For anyone who wants to become an animator or who already is an animator, do you have any advice for them?
I get that question a lot usually from students or college students, high school students. This is going to sound a little bit abstract because I'm not going. The technology changes and exactly what's required just changes all the time. What doesn't change is the level of passion and commitment you have to get to that level. I mean, Disney, DreamWorks, and Pixar, and they're Sony, like that's the A list, and there's no shortage of talent in the world. If you want to like get to that rung, most of those people, including myself, that's like the only thing you really think about. Like is you're obsessed with the craft, and so that said. I think this might apply actually to almost anything in life, but don't be so concerned with the outcome as much as the process. And so, like, and that happens a lot though, where people are so like, when I get this job or the kind of life I'll have when I work at that studio, well, that's not what gets you there. That dream, what gets you there is the work ethic and the practice. That's what gets you there. And so fall in love with that journey because it might be a long one. And that's how you're going to make it.
That. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I really appreciate it. It really was such a pleasure to speak with you.
Take care.
Thanks so much, guys.